All right, it's time to go over our top 20 tight ends of 2024, and we have to start out here with Sam Laporta. He's one of those tight ends that really emerged last year as a rookie. He ended up coming here and he gained the trust of Jared Goff, and we saw it in fantasy football. He was just producing week in and week out. He was very consistent. He's a big part of the game plan week in, week out. Had to put him here at the number 1 spot just because we know he's not trying to be rested during the season like maybe a Travis Kelce is, maybe waiting for that off season, kind of waiting to the actual NFL playoffs to really utilize Travis Kelce. But Sam Laporta is just a young part of the game plan. Him and Amon-Ra St. Brown really taking over here for this Lions offense and waiting for maybe the backfield, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to take over later on in the games. But they're really starting to set the tempo, not only with Amon-Ra St. Brown, but with Sam Laporta, with having someone at the tight end position who can put up wide receiver numbers week in and week out is a definite plus for you. And I'm telling you, Sam Laporta, he's going to continue doing what he did last season. This wasn't a one-year wonder. This guy showed flashes that he could be, having shades of greatness within him, right? So as long as he's within this offense and Jared Goff is continuing to want to throw him the football because he knows he is a reliable target, Sam Laporta is a great option. I had to put him here at number 1. Coming here at number 2, I'm going over Travis Kelce. And yes, I did mention a little bit just a minute ago, I think they could be leaning a little bit more on Isaiah Pacheco, maybe saving a little bit of Travis Kelce, but at the end of the day, Travis Kelce can blow up any given day. He can get you 2 to 3 touchdowns in a game if Patrick Mahomes is really wanting to target this guy. I know they got a lot of new targets. We don't know what's going on with Rashee Rice as of the recording of this video. They got Hollywood Brown in there. They drafted the rookie Xavier Worthy. There's a lot more pass catching options, but the one thing that he still is consistent, that is Travis Kelce. Had to put him here at number 2. We actually bumped him up a spot after kind of looking over some things. I just think Travis Kelce, it's hard to go away from this guy. Yes, he had a down year last year, but I think he picks things right back up this season and shows why he is always up there, usually the number 1 tight end. Had to put Sam Laporta there this year. Don't kill me in the comment section, but I think that Travis Kelce is still an elite tight end. Had to put him here at number 2. Now, number 3 is this guy who was in number 2 last time we put out our rankings. Had to drop down a spot. That's Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, I still think, is a great fantasy target, but I do think I had to bump up Travis Kelce for these reasons. Isaiah Likely is going to be a part of the offense more than what he was. He showed what he can do when Mark Andrews was out due to an injury. So I just think being a part of the offense with Isaiah Likely, maybe doing a lot of more 2 tight end sets, might lose a couple receptions to Likely. I still think Mark Andrews is a great tight end to have. I think he can easily be the number 1 tight end this season, and it wouldn't really shock me if I saw that. But I had to drop him here at number 3. I think him and Lamar Jackson really has built a nice rapport. They have Zay Flowers on the outside. He should be able to get his. But Mark Andrews is the go-to target. There's just reliability there. How is it going to affect him having Derrick Henry on the field now running the football? We don't really know, but I still think at the end of the day, Mark Andrews is the sole number 1 target on this offense. Lamar Jackson's looking for him. He's good on the underneath, on the crossing routes, little out routes. If they need a first down, they're throwing it to Mark Andrews. I just think he's a big part of the offense. I like Mark Andrews. Easily had to put him here at number 3. Coming at number 4, didn't change from the last time we did rankings. That's Trey McBride, and I do understand they brought in Marvin Harrison Jr. That's obviously going to take some of the targets away from McBride. Last year, there was absolute cockadoodle at the wide receiver position. They had to utilize Trey McBride early and often. He was putting up some consistent numbers. I still think he's going to put up consistent numbers. He was a very highly touted tight end coming out of college, and I think now we've finally shown why. He was behind Zach Ertz a little bit, so really wasn't able to shine early on. Once Zach Ertz fell down to an injury, now Trey McBride time happened. He showed why he can be a nice fantasy asset. Easily had to put him at number 4. I think him and Kyler Murray is really on the same page at this point, and while Marvin Harrison Jr. will be the main target in this offense, I think Trey McBride's still going to get his. He's still going to be a top tier tight end, easily in the top 5 for me. Speaking of the top 5, let's go over number 5. The tight end who didn't change in my rankings as of right now is Dalton Kincaid. Now, with all the people and all the pieces missing from this Buffalo Bills offense, whether it be Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, bye-bye, I think now the number 1 target will either go to A, Curtis Samuel, or B, it's going to be Dalton Kincaid. He's the guy who was there last season. Other than Khalil Shakir on this really starting roster, I just think the trust is there with Dalton Kincaid. He's going to take over being the more pass-centric kind of guy, just like a Mark Andrews, who he's going to be the main guy. I think the main guy is definitely going to be Dalton Kincaid. Josh Allen trusts this guy enough to get him the football, and I think there's going to be some weeks where you'll be a little disappointed, but there's going to be more weeks than not that you're happy that you have Dalton Kincaid in your lineup. I had to put him here as my number 5 tight end. Coming in at number 6 is a boom or bust type of tight end. We're talking about George Kittle there with the 49ers. Now, there's a lot of weapons there with the 49ers, and as of the recording of this video, Brandon Ayuk is not necessarily known if he's going to be on the roster or not. If he's not, obviously it helps George Kittle. He's got a lot of boom potential. Brock Purdy trusts this guy. There's some weeks George Kittle can definitely help you win a week. There's also some times where maybe Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk's more involved, maybe even Christian McCaffrey, and George Kittle's more of a forgotten man on those weeks. So it's a little frustrating sometimes to have Kittle. He has injury risk there as well, but I had to put him at number 6 because he can single-handedly help you win weeks because he has that type of talent. I like George Kittle and what he can give you for this offense. Easily at number 6 for me. Coming in at number 7, a tight end that gets a lot of reception and a lot of targets. That's going to be Evan Ingram, the tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They kind of retooled the offense just a little bit. Gone is Zay Jones, right? Gone is Calvin Ridley. In comes Brian Thomas Jr. and Gabe Davis alongside. You got Christian Kirk still there. We know we got the Evan Ingram. We still got Travis Etienne in the backfield. You know, Trevor Lawrence has got a lot of tools, right? He's got a lot of people there to make plays for him. And I think one of the biggest reasons of why he may seek success in 2024 is Evan Ingram. He trusts this guy. If he needs a big-time target and a big-time opportunity, maybe like a fourth quarter or needing a first down, maybe even in the red zone, he likes to target Evan Ingram, right? Evan Ingram has shown he could be a very good fantasy tight end. He was even good when he played with the Giants. They just didn't utilize him well. Now he moved over to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's showing people what he was drafted to do way back when by the Giants. So I think the Jaguars have kind of unlocked Evan Ingram as of right now. I think that he's giving you some good opportunities to succeed. I think you can get him at a cheap ADP value and still be an elite tight end. He could really finish in the top 5, and you never know before the season. He might even be at that number 5 spot. We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see how the offseason goes, see how training camp goes, and kind of move and up and down as we go. But as of right now, we do have Evan Ingram at number 7. I just like what he can provide for you in a nice high-powered type of offense. Coming here at number 8, going over a tight end, Kyle Pitts, another guy who has potential to be a top 5 tight end. It's just frustrating, right? He didn't have anything, thrown on the football, whether it be Desmond Ridder or Taylor Heineke or any one of the Marcus Mariotas, right? He never had a quarterback to really get him the football. Now Kirk Cousins comes over here, and man, he's finally got himself a quarterback. But not only is he working at the tight end position, he's also working out at that wide receiver position as well. So we have a lot more opportunities to spread Kyle Pitts all over the field to be able to score positive fantasy points for you week in and week out. I truly think this is the year you need to get Kyle Pitts. They can make everything work now that they have a quarterback that's going to be able to get them the football. Kirk Cousins is going to change the whole dynamic of this Atlanta Falcons offense. And yes, they do have Drake London out there. We've got Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. They got a lot of other weapons out there. But Kyle Pitts, we have to remember how much of a freak of nature this guy is. And you can get him at a cheaper ADP than some of these top-end guys like a Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce. So if you go out on a limb, you grab yourself some Kyle Pitts, he could pay huge dividends for you this season. And just with having Kirk Cousins, I think he is the key to unlock Kyle Pitts this season. Move right along here at number 9. We're going over with David Njoku, right? We saw what David Njoku can give you when Joe Flacco was the quarterback. Now, I am betting right now that Deshaun Watson showed or watched what Flacco showed to this team, that Njoku is one of their best pass catchers between him and Amari Cooper, and we need to utilize David Njoku. I think Watson will do that. He doesn't have a history of really using his tight end position, and he didn't utilize David Njoku before his injury. I think he has to see what kind of weapon he has in Njoku, and I think this is the season that you see it. I think you're going to consistently see production out of Njoku. A lot of people are kind of down on him because there's no more Joe Flacco. Here comes Deshaun Watson back into the mix. I think it's going to be A-okay. Don't shy away from David Njoku. Easily here in my top 10. They're at number 9 for me. So moving right along here at number 10, we're going over with the touchdown dependent, what I would say, Jake Ferguson out of the Dallas Cowboys. He's a tight end that I can see going places, right? I can see things happening for him to where, CeeDee Lamb isn't everything, right? He's not the entire offense, right? I think Jake Ferguson can really produce some numbers for you. He's going to be frustrating sometimes because if it's a big CeeDee Lamb game, maybe even throw a bomb down into Brandon Cooks, you're not really going to see much production there out of Ferguson. But now with the run game completely obliterated, they got the old man Ezekiel Elliott back. They're going to be throwing the football quite a bit, which means more opportunities for Jake Ferguson. I love what I see out of him. Easily had to put him at number 10 for me. Coming at number 11, there's going to be a guy who moved up a spot and a rookie. That's going to be Brock Bowers. I think he's going to be over there with the Raiders, and he's going to be a big part of this offense. They know they have Devontae Adams right now, but they're looking for somebody to get really, really involved. Brock Bowers has a lot of skill. He showed that at the University of Georgia. He was all over the field. He was the main pass catcher for this offense and Carson Beck over there. So I just think you're going to see a lot of different, more passing routes. Yeah, you have Jacoby Myers up there as well, but Brock Bowers can set himself apart. He can easily be in the top 10 tight end range this season, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Brock Bowers has a ton of talent and can get it done for you. I had to put him here at number 11. If Gardner Minshew is the quarterback there, I think he's good enough to spread the ball around, good enough to make Brock Bowers a fantasy relevant player. And having a rookie excitement coming in here like that, drafting up there in the upper echelon of the first round of the NFL draft, you have to utilize this guy. You don't draft someone that high and don't use him for football. That means fantasy football points is going to be there for Brock Bowers. Look for Brock Bowers to be a top end tier fantasy tight end. Moving right along here, a tight end that I dropped down in my rankings, that's going to be Dallas Goedert, right? He moved back one. I think we had to move Brock Bowers up one just in case. But let's just face it, right? There's a new addition in Saquon Barkley there with the Eagles. We don't know what the passing volume is going to be as of right now. We still have AJ Brown out there. We have Devonta Smith out there. Dallas Goedert's the third fiddle in the passing game, right? And not include now, you've got a running back that you got to keep happy in Saquon Barkley. They paid him a lot of money, and he's an elite running back, right? So yes, it's going to take a step back from Dallas Goedert. He will still have his spike weeks. Don't get me wrong. I like Dallas Goedert as a prospect. I just don't think he'll have as good as fantasy numbers as he did last season, which just bumps him back a peg. But at the whole grand scheme of things, I still like Dallas Goedert easily at number 12 for me. We got a tight end here that I bumped up just 2 spots. That's going to be Dalton Schultz. He re-signed back there with the Texans, and boy, do they have a high-powered offense. But hear me out here. Yes, they do have Stephon Diggs. They do have Nico Collins, and they do have Tank Dell. That means they're going to have a lot of over coverage there on these elite wide receivers. And what is that going to do? Well, hopefully that leaves some underneath coverage for Dalton Schultz to take advantage. I think he could put up some solid fantasy numbers with a quarterback in CJ Stroud who can show that he can give multiple people the football. He can spread it around to everyone, and I think Dalton Schultz could be a really good benefactor of having so many good wide receivers on this team that people may forget about Dalton Schultz, and he could have some really scary weeks. So I really had to bump up Dalton Schultz a couple times. I like him here at number 13 for me. Move right along here to number 14, a tight end that I didn't touch from last time we did the rankings, and that's Cole Kmet, the tight end for the Bears. Now, Caleb Williams, a rookie quarterback, he's got a little moxie about him, but I think, and I say it all the time, when you have a rookie quarterback, they like to use a safety blanket. Cole Kmet could be the safety blanket for Caleb Williams. He has a lot of pressure on his shoulder to be the man. He was drafted to be the man, and we have to see what can he do. He has a plethora of wide receivers out there, whether it be Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, or Rome Odunze. We can't forget about Cole Kmet. Almost the same thing when I talked about for the Houston Texans and Dalton Schultz. The same really applies here for Cole Kmet, except for now you have a rookie quarterback who may use the tight end position more as a safety blanket, and that just means Cole Kmet's going to have more of an opportunity to be fantasy relevant for your team. So the Chicago Bears in general, they're probably not going to be a very good team, which means they're going to be in a negative game script a lot, which means Caleb Williams is going to be allowed to throw the football all over the field. He was the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. That means they're not going to pull the plug. Even if they're cock-a-doodoo and going on a 6-game losing streak, you got Caleb Williams out there still slinging the football, and I think Cole Kmet's going to shock a lot of people this season just based on the sheer volume this guy is going to receive from Caleb Williams. Easily here at number 14 for me. Move right along here at number 15. Had to move up somebody just 1 spot. I'm going Pat Freiermuth, and we have to remember Arthur Smith is over there right now. Arthur Smith's been in the NFL for 5 years, and in each year, the least amount of targets to the tight end position has been 25% to the tight end, which means Pat Freiermuth should see a plenty number of targets going his way, and I think he can really set people up for success in fantasy football because you can probably get him at such a good value at ADP. He's going to pay huge dividends for you, right? Russell Wilson comes over there. He's going to utilize everybody. He's very smart. He's going to throw a lot deep down the field to George Pickens. I'm going to throw a lot underneath to Pat Freiermuth. So I think he can give you a lot of fantasy points this season. I think that he's going to be a steal in most drafts. And please don't hesitate when you see Pat Freiermuth and you don't have a tight end yet. If you have to have Pat Freiermuth as your tight end one, be happy that you got him. I'm going to like the production that he has when it's all said and done. Move right along here at number 16, going to a tight end that's new to my rankings, and I had to put him in here. That's Hunter Henry. The more and more you think about Hunter Henry and what he can provide, he could easily be the man for this offense. We're talking about a bunch of no names at wide receiver. You know, who knows what it's going to be? Is it going to be Kendrick Bourne? Is it going to be Douglas? Is it going to be the new guys? Maybe Jalen Polk. Maybe going to be Javon Baker. Is it going to be KJ Osborne? There's so many wide receivers with a bunch of question marks. The one question mark that the Patriots don't have is at that tight end position. Gave him a nice little contract. Hunter Henry could be the main benefactor of this offense, and especially whether it's Jacoby Brissett at the quarterback position or Drake May at the quarterback position. Either one's going to know they've got one veteran tight end in there, a reliable pass catcher. We need to get him the football. Hunter Henry could be explosive this season. I'm really, the more and more I think about Hunter Henry, the more I start raising him up on my rankings, and I wouldn't be surprised if I have a Hunter Henry even higher the next time we do some rankings. So be on the lookout for that. I think Hunter Henry is a great value tight end for you to get, especially he's definitely in my top 20, but definitely could be in my top 15 before you know it. Let's move right along here. At the next tight end, we had to drop him down 4 spots. That's TJ Hockenson, and I love what TJ Hockenson can give you. I had to drop him quite a bit just due to his injury. He's probably going to start the season on the PUP list, which means he'll probably be out at least the first 6 weeks of the season. You never know what's going to happen, right? And they have a bye week 6 as well, so he might not even be back to week 7, maybe even week 8. We don't know, but half the season's probably going to be gone for TJ Hockenson. Yes, he could put up some solid numbers for you, but I have a hard time putting somebody in my top 15 tight ends the more and more I think about it when he's going to be missing half the season. I don't want to do that for you guys. I had to drop him down a couple spots here at 17. He's uber talented, right? It's just he's going to be missing some time, and I couldn't put him in the top 15. Doesn't matter who's going to be the quarterback, whether it be Sam Darnold or JJ McCarthy. By the time Hockenson comes back, he's going to be targeted heavily, him and Justin Jefferson. So I'm not worried about his production once he gets on the field. It's that he needs to get on the field first, because it doesn't help you to draft this guy as a top 15 tight end and he doesn't even play until mid-season for you, right? So just a little caveat there for him right there. So number 18, a guy that I'm bumping up 2 spots, that's Jelani Woods. This is one of these guys, 6'7", freak athlete. Now he's got Anthony Richardson back healthy at the quarterback position. They still got Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. Don't forget about the plethora of wide receivers, whether it be Michael Pittman, Adonai Mitchell, or Josh Downs, or maybe even Alec Pierce. People are going to forget about this big old mammoth of a man. I'm telling you, a red zone threat. Somebody who really shown some flashes when he was on the field to be a nice tight end. I think he could be dominant this year. He is one of my favorite sleepers of fantasy football of 2024. Look out for Jelani Woods if you're looking for somebody at the very back end of the tight end position at the back end of the drafts, and you don't know who else to pick. Go grab yourself some Jelani Woods. I think you'll be very pleased with what he can do. I think he does stay healthy this year, and he's going to provide fantasy owners with a lot of faith, knowing that you guys trusted in this guy to stay healthy and deliver for you guys, and he's going to put really big fantasy days up for you. I'm excited to see Jelani Woods in 2024. So we were along here at number 19, somebody who stayed where they were from the last time with these rankings. That's Tyler Conklin. He could be a target right there for Aaron Rodgers, right? And these Jets, between him and Garrett Wilson, they are the main kind of targets there. Yes, I know they have Mike Williams on the outside now. As long as he stays healthy, he could be a good target for him. But Tyler Conklin is as consistent as they get. He doesn't wow you with any of his fantasy football numbers. He's not going to go out there and get you 10 catches for 180 yards. He ain't that kind of tight end, right? But he can get you a consistent floor to get you some points. So if you completely punt it on the tight end position and you're looking for somebody just to give you some type of floor of numbers, Tyler Conklin can do that. And especially if Aaron Rodgers stays being the quarterback there and doesn't get hurt and doesn't have to go out and have Cockadoodle come in at the quarterback position, Aaron Rodgers knows how to spread the ball around. He knows how to get it to his targets, and I think Tyler Conklin could be a big benefactor of that. I like Tyler Conklin at number 19. And number 20, a tight end I had to drop down 3 spots here. I'm saying Luke Musgrave, and hear me out. Luke Musgrave is only in my top 20 just because of opportunity alone. I'll actually like the second string tight end on this offense of the Green Bay Packers and Tucker Kraft more than Luke Musgrave. Even when he was drafted second after Musgrave in the same exact draft, I said I like Tucker Kraft more than Luke Musgrave, and it showed. When Musgrave went out, Kraft was going ham sauce, and I loved it. But as of right now, he's healthy. Luke Musgrave's probably going to be the starting tight end, so I had to put him in my top 20. But if he was hurt or not on this team, Tucker Kraft would be there right now. I would have to put him there at 20 as well. So either way it goes, whoever the starting tight end for the Green Bay Packers, I have to put them there at number 20 because Jordan Love is going to be showing somebody some quote unquote love, right? He's got a lot of pass catchers and he likes to involve his tight ends as well. So guys, just to let you know, that is my top 20 tight ends for 2024. Do yourself, hit a subscribe button. Make sure you're hitting the like button. As most of you guys watching this video right now, if you glance down there, you're probably not subscribed, and you need to subscribe to the channel, guys. We're pumping out multiple videos each and every week to help best you set yourself up for a championship. I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.